So guys, what is up? This is me, Kelvin from Phoenix Fan TV. Hope you guys are had a good weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the game against Newcastle last Thursday. But pretty much the whole reason I'm doing this video, and it's not an actual interview at a game, is because basically I'm going to summarise a few things, my thoughts on the game against the Jets. The trip to Auckland and all that, we'll just go over that again. And pretty much sort of, and also the main topic is with releasing content, because obviously me, Justin and Eli, being a few young guys, and obviously the fixture list being the way it is, there's not that many home games in the A-League for us. I think it's about 12, and obviously with releasing content, if we only get maybe 2-3 interviews a game for 12 games, that's not a lot. It's not a very consistent amount of content over the season's length of time. So what we're thinking is, for the remainder of the season and the game, before the game in Auckland, me, Justin and Eli are obviously going to be at the hotel, and we're going to sit down and do sort of like a preview before the game and that, and give our insights beforehand. And we're thinking as well for away games, once we sort out a location, obviously, because we need a location for us to all film and do like a podcast sort of discussion thing. All three of us want to sit down and analyse the game ourselves and sort of give a post-match thought to sort of fill in space for not being able to interview fans at the game, obviously because it's an away fixture. But that's just sort of our idea, and we're just letting you guys know that in the coming weeks we are going to sort out a location, and me, Eli and Justin will be doing sort of like our own discussion panels of away games in the A-League. But in terms of Auckland, not much to summarise really. We're heading up on Thursday, me, Justin and Eli. I'm not expecting anybody to notice who we are, but if you guys see us in Auckland, and I know a few of you guys are subscribers from Auckland, please come and say hello. We're honestly not going to buy or do anything. We really appreciate the support, and the fact that the channel's going nationwide and some people in Australia are watching, I think is absolutely awesome, and we really appreciate your support nationwide and over in Australia. But yeah, as I was saying before, if you guys see us, come say hi and don't be afraid to come say hello and, have a chat. Also, any of you guys in Auckland, if you guys have any idea of where is a good place to film our interviews post-match at the game, please let us know in the comments below. And also, you guys who are subscribers from Auckland, and even if you're from Wellington and you're travelling up to Auckland, come along and say hello and get an interview. Honestly, people sort of feel as if, a lot of people I know have declined interviews because they feel as if it's like tough or they don't know what to say. But the whole aspect of an interview is I pose questions and you guys literally just say what you want. The whole point of the videos and the channel is your opinions are what dictate the content. So I'll just pose you guys questions and you guys just hit me with feedback or whatever you think. And honestly, anything is great because it's a fans channel for the fans, by the fans. So yeah, if you guys see us, come along, say hello and grab an interview. And yeah, so we'll move on. Recent result against the Newcastle Jets. I don't know, I feel as if a draw in the end felt like a fair result, but then being 1-1 at McDonald Jones Stadium. But, you've got to think about it. The Jets are 7th and they were 10 points behind us, and they're not in great form. For the form we're in and the attack we possess, and having our two central defenders back after suffering heavily against Perth in a 3-0 loss, which was clearly because of the loss of Durante and Taylor, I think looking at the game on paper and looking at the two squads, you would have definitely expected us to have taken it to Newcastle more than we did and convert our chances a lot more clinically than we did. But I think in the end, besides the penalty miss, I think 1-1's a fair result because both goalkeepers had a brilliant game. Ollie Sale, apparently Philip Curto had a stomach bug or something, or a virus. Ollie Sale comes in, one of the performances of the season in my eyes. I think it was maybe his second save, reaction save. I think he parried it out to somebody, or it took a ricochet off a defender, off a Phoenix defender, fell. I can't remember who it was too. Might have been not Andy Keogh, Ronnie Vargas or something, I can't remember. And basically, the guy just hits it up hard and he just jumps up and reaction save parries it over. I mean, if it wasn't for his quick reactions, we would have conceded there. But yeah, that's sort of a bit of not really an analysis. But yeah, I think we obviously started off very well. Obviously, as you guys, if you guys seen the game, which I'm sure you have, we started off well. We definitely should have scored in the opening seconds. We missed, I think, about 3 chances in one piece of play. So I mean, when you don't capitalise on your chances like that, you sort of get a bit of an ill feeling that maybe the opposition will come back and bite you, and that is what happened. We were obviously all over Newcastle in the opening stages, but then Ronnie Vargas against the run of play found some space, brilliant footwork. You actually saw Stephen Taylor on the ground basically like going around, trying to work out where the ball was and how he could stop Ronald Vargas from scoring. But brilliant finish from Ronnie Vargas against the run of play, and the Jets went into the break at 1-0 up. And then we came back, and I think it was about 3 minutes into the second half. Get the ball, play it across the box, and David Williams, as he does, great positioning, finding a gap in the box, and just low-driven shot into the bottom corner. Brilliant finish and great attacking play from David Williams there. But also, big decision as well. The main talking point of the game, you would say, is the penalty from Roy Krishna. Obviously, I do personally think it was a penalty. It was a little bit soft, but obviously in football you have to make the most of contact and draw the contact. But I mean, I think all of us Knicks fans know, or a lot of us would know, that Roy Krishna doesn't have a great penalty record. And in my opinion, he's obviously a class striker, but with his penalties, I don't think it's necessarily from placement or confidence. I think it's just lacing the ball into the back of the net. And I'm pretty sure his penalty record is 7 scored from 14 attempts so far for the Phoenix in his career. And that is not a great penalty record, to be missing half of the penalties you take. And the penalty he took was not a good penalty at all. He's literally just got the ball and drilled it down the centre of the goal. When everybody's saying, what a save from Glenn Moss. Like, yeah, it's always a good save from a goalkeeper off a penalty, because you're obviously going to put the striker ahead of the goalkeeper or the person taking the spot kick to score, obviously. Because, I mean, people say a penalty kick is the best chance you'll have to score. I beg to differ, because there's a lot of pressure on you, and there's actually, the goalkeeper's expecting it, blah, blah, blah. But, a debate. Roy Krishna, why is he being selected to take penalties when he's missed half his penalties that he's taken in his Phoenix career? Because you've got a proven penalty taker. Obviously, I mean, I'm not saying YouTube is how you look at the world of football, but a lot of Phoenix fans in polls and groups pulled up the fact that Killian Sheridan has a great penalty record, and I don't think he's yet missed a penalty in his recent career. I think he's got about 16 from 16 or something like that for Upwell and all that, and all those other teams he played for over in Europe. But I mean, if Roy Krishna hasn't got a good penalty record and he hasn't been trustworthy, why aren't you giving another player a chance to, get off the mark and, somebody who's more trusted and more reliable at the penalty spot than Krishna? Because it clearly shows that Krishna's lacking in confidence from the penalty spot, because he's literally just gone and hammered it down the middle. And it's a decent save from Moss. And to be honest, we should have won the game if you're looking at it in that aspect, because you've got a penalty in the 89th minute. You really honestly should be scoring a penalty and putting that away to give your team the win. Because I think from the way we played in the opening stages of the match, and then the way we performed towards the end, I think we did deserve a win in the end. But I mean, a point away from home is a point away from home, and you've got to look at it in the way the club's developed in the past season. Normally we would be sitting there going, oh, wow, that's awesome. We got a point away from home against Newcastle Jets over in Australia. And we'd be really happy about that as fans and supporters and as a club. But now we're sitting here disappointed about getting a point away from home in a tough game. It just shows how far the club has advanced in performances and just mindset and belief in the past year, and what Mark Rudan's instilled in the players and the club and just everybody involved. But yeah, 1-1 draw. I do think we should have taken 3 points. But I mean, Melbourne victory at Eden Park, 7:30 p.m. on Friday the 15th of February. So far, besides the Perth game, biggest game of our season, because realistically, you look where Perth are now. I think they're 10 points clear or something, or 7 points clear, of Melbourne, who are team just behind them now, the closest team to them. Realistic, we're not going to win the Premier's plate. You got to be realistic about things, And I think for us in the finals, we need to focus on getting in the top 4, because if you look at it statistically, no team ever in A-League history has won the A-League Grand Final or got to the Grand Final. Sorry, no team's won the A-League from 6th place. You know, top 4 teams have won. Nobody's won it from below 4th. It's just hasn't happened in the A-League, and I think that's just because the way this format works is if you're 6, you play 1. And it's just hard because, I mean, we do have the ability to beat Perth. We showed that when we played them in, I think, round 7, and we got a draw, but we should have got the win. I think we were robbed, and a lot of people still think that. But, yeah, I think big game in the context of our season, because we lose and Perth win, Newcastle win. We're 9 points clear, but that gap starts to closing up, and there's still 10 rounds left. You don't know what can happen, and we can't just sit there in 6th, you know? It just seems a bit... I don't know, as a fan myself, it seems a bit, not boring, but, you know, knowing that we're not really fighting for anything in particular if we just sit back. Obviously, we're not going to, not go for the win, but we need to be fighting for a higher place than we were at, in particular, we need to be fighting for 4th place. This is a huge game on Friday because we haven't been taking our chances in recent. And the more Melbourne get away from everybody, you know, nobody's going to catch them, and I think for us to be proving as title contenders, we need to play Melbourne at home, and we need to win, because we've played Melbourne twice. I think the first game was 2, I think it was 2-2 it might have been. It was 1-1. Yeah, David Williams opened the scoring with that brilliant finesse effort, top right corner, opened himself up, struck at top right over Amy Park, brilliant goal. And then the second game, we were 3-1 up against Melbourne Victory. And not saying that's a great result away from... I'm not saying that that's not a great result away from home, but come on, you have to be holding 3-1 leads. If you know, we've got a bloody strong mentality at the club now, but you've got to question how you can drop. You're dropping 2 points because you're expected to win from 3-1 up, starting off in the second half, and you've gone and got a draw. But I mean, in the context of the finals this season, improving our title contender status, we need to get a win in in Auckland against Melbourne. Me, Eli, and Justin will be there. Come say hello. Don't forget to get an interview if you guys are along. And yeah, thank you guys for your support in recent weeks. We're going to be releasing a few pre-match discussion videos, me, Justin, and Eli. And also there will be an additional interview afterwards with Nathan, who I've been in touch with, one of the fans. Not Nathan who was in the blue jacket. Nathan who did the fans voice video. Gave his opinions on the season so far quite a while ago. But he's going to meet us up at Eden Park the day after, because he's got commitments after the game, so he won't be able to get an interview on the day, and he'll give his insight and his thoughts then. So we want to thank you guys for the support in recent times. Yeah, that's my opinions on the Jets game. Huge game in Auckland this weekend, or on Friday. I'll be there, Justin will be there, and Eli will be there. We're going to see you guys there. Come on, you Knicks.